Hello, I'm Dr. Bill Osmondson.
So a lot of people ask about what do you do?
I'm a general and cosmetic dentist and have been a dentist for 30 years.
With the toothpaste after you brush your teeth.
One of the first things I did is I looked at my tube of toothpaste. It says drug facts. I know it's a drug. If I were to give it to you, it'd have to be a prescription. That's for swallowing. When it comes to toothpaste, it also says don't swallow.
Swallow it, and it's sort of like mouthwash.
And if you do swallow, contact a poison control center.
But it tastes a little gross.
Brush our teeth, eat breakfast just like everybody else, except that everything we do, we're weightless, and all the things we're doing it with are weightless as well. So you start off with that teeth brushing thing, and I have to say, you know, spitting, that's going to be a problem. So we swallow our toothpaste.
Floating on the end. Shut off the straw very carefully. Okay, and get my toothbrush wet. Toothbrushes soak up water nicely. So now I have a nice wet toothbrush. Good. So I'm partway there. Got my toothbrush wet. Now I just need to put some toothpaste on it and get cleaning my teeth. So I'm going to suck the water off it, because where else would it go? We just use standard toothpaste in space. Squeeze a little on, not too much, because you're going to have to clean it up later. Okay, so there's my toothpaste on my toothbrush. Okay, so now what am I going to do? I've got a mouthful of toothpaste stuff. I got a dirty toothbrush. So what I do is I just swallow the toothpaste. It's edible, won't kill you.
When it comes to toothpaste, it also says don't swallow. And if you do swallow, contact a poison control center.
And what else am I going to do? Put it in a rag and have a dirty rag? Doesn't make any sense. So in space, just swallow your toothpaste.
Before that, I received a master's in public health in nutrition and health education. For the first 25 years of practice, I promoted water fluoridation aggressively. I thought I saw the benefits. It wasn't until I actually looked at the information myself and sat down and looked at the different government agencies and the different reports and the studies that I began to realize that fluoridation was a problem. Well, the amount of fluoride that they're talking about is a pea-sized amount of fluoride. You probably don't see that in advertisements, a pea-sized amount of fluoride. Usually when I see an advertisement, it looks more like a Dairy Queen ice cream cone. That amount is a 1/4 milligram of fluoride. Well, that's the same amount of fluoride as what we find in 8 ounces of water. 1/4 milligram of fluoride, 1/4 milligram of fluoride. Don't swallow. If you do, call the Poison Control Center. One of the things that concerns me is water fluoridation for infants. The American Dental Association and Center for Disease Control recommend that infants not receive water for drinking nor for making their formula. It's 250 times more concentrated in fluoride than mother's milk. We shouldn't fluoridate water and harm our most vulnerable. The next thing I looked at was dental fluorosis. These are the white and brown spots on the teeth. The only thing that causes dental fluorosis is fluoride. Too much fluoride ingested, usually during the developing years, birth to about 8 years of age. When I see people coming in to have treatment for dental fluorosis, I mention to them that they have had too much fluoride. And this is an indication that the rest of their body has probably had too much fluoride also, their bones and in the rest of their organs. Damage from dental fluorosis is not disputed. Everyone agrees that too much fluoride can cause dental fluorosis. About 1/3 of children are now experiencing fluorosis, according to the CDC. The next thing I wanted to look at was benefits. What are the benefits of it? I've heard reports of 20 to 40%, 60%, 80% tooth reduction with water fluoridation. So what is the benefit of water fluoridation? Same thing for counties and other locations. That was disturbing to me. If there's no benefit, well, why are we fluoridating? I have 2 requests for you. One is to talk to your dentist and your healthcare provider about fluoridation. Ask them if they've seen the National Academy of Science report on fluoridation. Give them information that they may not have on water fluoridation and excess fluoride exposure. That helped me when my patients casually, calmly, quietly said, have a look at this. This doctor, this dentist is concerned about water fluoridation. What do you think? Our whole lives are given to improving the health of people, not harming them. And so for those of you who are healthcare professionals, I highly urge you to look once again at the science on fluoridation. Science doesn't need to be scary. It's just information. Spend a little bit of time looking at it on both sides of the issues.
This is the farm of the late Paul Barcy and his son Paul Jr., successful cattle ranchers of Ferndale, Washington. In 1966, Intalco built an aluminum smelter 1.5 miles from their farm. By 1968, the Barcys noticed that many of their animals were becoming debilitated, but they didn't realize until many months later that it was the fluoride emissions from Intalco's smelter which were poisoning their cattle, causing damage to plants, and in some cases killing their trees.